What's a 359-room hotel doing on my boutique best of list? After inspecting 48 London hotels and paying for 10 stays, the Sea Containers is the only big hotel that made the cut. It's less touristy than Soho, often under £300, and is packed with design surprises. I'm Don. I travel the world test driving boutique hotels so you can book with confidence. Today, I'm taking you inside the Sea Containers London to show you the best reasons to book and a couple reasons you might not. This made my best of London list for a reason. I'm here a couple hours early on a Friday. I still get early check-in, but they said it's going to be more like 1 o'clock. Right away, you can tell someone has a point of view here. The whole concept is inspired by transatlantic cruise liners, and they've gone all in, including this huge copper hull crashing through reception, and a kind of playful nautical energy that says, I'm not taking myself too seriously. For me, it works. As I check in, they tell me there are 3 bars on this floor alone, plus a rooftop bar. It sucks, but I guess I'm gonna have to test drive all these bars. While I wait for my room, I'm gonna grab some lunch at the hotel's Riverside restaurant. The hotel's fully booked, and that's why I have to wait longer than I'd like for my room, but this is not a bad place to wait. And right away, I spot bar number 1 with, yes, a yellow submarine. I love it. But what I love even more is how the whole restaurant frames the Thames. You've got the river traffic, people strolling by on the footpath, great for people watching with a side of food. But I think the outdoor terrace is the star of the show. If I didn't have a video to make, I'd stay out here all afternoon. Okay, my room is ready. I've been in London now for a few days, and these are the wildest elevators for sure. All right, come on in and let me show you around the room, which I really like. Starting with this pop of color that's on the bedspread right here, and I just like the bed overall. I mean, I like the headboard and the kind of the wood detail around it. I think it's all really nice. Nice desk, and we're up on the 14th floor and got a pretty good view. I wanted a river view and I didn't get that, so I did complain a little bit when I checked in, but to be honest with you, I booked kind of late. So nice piece of art here. I like the sitting area. It's very comfortable. I mean, this is kind of a basic room here. They do have bigger rooms. And then like little details like these coat hooks here, I think made of glass that are really nice material. Nice minibar setup. It's pretty complete. And I like the pop of color when you open the closet here. I think that's fun. And then the bathroom is pretty basic, but actually pretty spacious. Nice walk-in shower and nice finishes. You know, there's so many hotels in the world using unsustainable plastic bottles, so I appreciate that these guys are doing it right. And that's really nice. This is the only hotel on my best of London list that's actually on the south side of the river. There's a lot less tourists over here, which can be a really good thing. We're just a stone's throw away from the Tate Modern. Then you can walk across the Millennium Bridge to St. Paul's, which is at the center of the City of London. Westminster's just right down there. I can see the London Eye, and you can take river walks. So I think there's a lot to be said for this area. Heading down to the basement, the Agua Spa gives the London Underground a new meaning. Beautiful materials, treatment rooms for massages and facials, rooms to relax in, a steam room, and these vertical glass panels with light behind them, and a big gym that's open 24 hours. And I did not expect this. A 56-seat cinema tucked inside the hotel. Comfy seating, food and drinks available, when it's open that is, later today. Not bad. Next door to the main restaurant is the hotel's lobby lounge, and during the day it's kind of got a co-working vibe. People meeting friends, getting some work done, having drinks. It's my kind of co-working space. Good views, plus a bar. I love the lighting in here. Not just the floor lamps, but Also what they've built into the ceiling. Original and unexpected. But as much as I like this space, it's the roof bar I really want to see. But first, let's finish drinking on the ground floor at the hotel's award-winning cocktail bar that's been voted one of the world's 50 best bars. By who? I have no idea. But I do give it high marks for vibe and decor. I'm meeting friends for dinner later, so I'll stick to beer for now. I'm here to help you avoid those, but it doesn't look like the website moments. Booking your next trip with us helps support my mission and gets you a better deal. Remember that river view I didn't get in my room? Well, it turns out I didn't need it. The hotel's rooftop bar is by far my favorite part of this hotel. For obvious reasons, right? The decor is gorgeous, the music just right, and these views, hard to beat. It's Friday night and this place is buzzing, and I'm really starting to think that I picked the right hotel. It's a bit chilly to sit outside tonight, but these folks don't seem to mind. The views from this terrace are even better. 359 rooms and more personality than most boutique hotels. That's why the Sea Containers made my best hotels in London list. If you like rule breakers, the Ned might be perfect for you. It's big, bold, and one of the best historic renovations I've ever seen in a hotel. Thanks for watching and see us in the next video. The pillows here are excellent. They get a 10. It's true. Good night.